So apparently, sitting is the new smoking. Along with a few physiological responses that can negatively affect your health, passive sitting is the king of creating a rigid and dysfunctional human mover. Many ergonomic interventions have tried to optimize this position, but the human body was not designed for hours and hours of passive sitting. So instead of optimizing a bad position, avoid it and change it. From tight hip flexors, hamstrings, sleeping glutes, and an impossible position to maintain back extension, the overall pattern of sitting makes you a better and better sitter and a less and less capable moving human being. The introduction of stand-up desks has done some really good things and is much better than sitting for various hours of our day. But it too is a limiting position and one of the 3 positions we adopt daily the most. The standing position is more active but provides little in mobility and muscle activation variation. So here is a 2-hour program of stretches to counter your sitting. Just kidding. In the case of overcoming immobility and dysfunction of movement, posture and muscle tightness, we can either counter with a specific program, class, or routine which will take more time out of your day, or we can change the environment and remove the things that are creating the issues for things that provide benefit and adaptation. When we change the environment, it does not take time out of your day but fits into your day as a routine. Introducing the Work Position Flow Sequence Challenge. Try saying that 10 times quickly. The following is a series of positions that can replace your sitting and standing position. The idea is to get into each position in order for as long as you can, slightly challenging your position little by little each time. Gamify your workday by trying to extend the time you are in a position day by day or week by week. Try only use 60 to 70% effort to keep in each position. Warning: do not get into or stay in a position if you experience extreme pain or feel the position is causing injury. If you wish to partake in the following, know that you do so at your own risk. If you work on a laptop, it is going to be much easier to move around. If not, you may need to set up several stations. Starting with the 2 most challenging positions, which will probably be held for the shortest time, try to sit on your sitting bones, your ischial tuberosities, as much as you can with the sitting positions. First one up, the extended prone position. Prop up on your elbows. You can use a cushion for the friction on your elbows if you want to. Make sure to draw your shoulders down and extend your chest out to keep from sinking to your shoulders and creating upper trap tension. You can also tuck your pelvis into the ground to protect the lower back. The extended leg sit. Legs are straight as possible and the back is extended upright, straight as you can. If you have a laptop tray, this works the best. Otherwise, a simple cushion can support your laptop. Push your chest out and belly out a bit to keep your back extended. Your back extensors will definitely be working. The extended wide sit. The laptop tray will do well here again, or you can use a cushion to prop up your laptop. Anchor your feet as wide as possible, legs as straight as possible, and slightly externally rotate your hips. Work to extend the back the same as the previous sit. The folded leg extended sit. Bring the foot as close to the hip and inner thigh as possible. It will be a bit easier to extend in this position. The box sit. Try to bring both hips to touch the ground as much as you can. The more at 90 degrees the knees are, the harder it will be. From here, you can place your laptop on a couch or a chair if you would like. The vertical bent leg sit. This will require some work from the hip flexor, and due to this, you'll need to work on back extension once again. Aim to get those sitting bones down all the way. The cross leg sit. The previous vertical leg will be the one that crosses in front. and when we switch sides, we'll cross the other side, which might feel awkward for most. Repeat the sequence of the folded leg extended sit, the box sit, the vertical bent leg sit, and the cross sit on the other side. We will then move and transition into the low half kneel. Aim to get the foot underneath the hip, flat into plantar flexion, but if you need to tuck the toes under to begin, then do so. Progress to bringing the foot of the vertical leg as close to the hip as possible, and try not to supinate the foot underneath the hip. Try to keep it straight and stretching through the front of the ankle. Next we go to the full half kneel. The further you move the knee on the ground behind the hip, the more of the hip flexor you will stretch out. Keep your hips neutral, so try not to arch your lower back too much. We will repeat low half kneel and full half kneel on the other side. Next will be low kneel. You can tuck your toes under if you need, but try plantar flex and keep your feet underneath your hips. Again, don't allow your feet to supinate too much. Don't turn your heels out and your toes inwards. After that, we have high kneel. Keep the hips and spine tall and in line over the knees. As with the other, a cushion can be used to support the friction of the knee. Only after you have done as much as you can in each position do you transition to standing. You can use a stand-up desk or place a chair on a table as another variation. The different positions in standing you can use is 1 foot forward, or you can have a straight stand with both feet underneath the hip. Once you have exhausted all of these positions, then you can resort to the dreaded passive sit. But if you are able, aim to eventually not resort to this position at all during your workday. You now have a strategy to not only avoid sitting, but also incorporate some mobility enhancing and muscle activating positions. Your body wants variation, so move it.